Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Rick Reads Comics. We're going to jump back on to Rebel Moon this time. I know last time we did the House of X #1, and we're going to continue going through that. But for now, we're going to go back to Rebel Moon. This is issue #2, and it's a miniseries, and it's House of the Bloodaxe. Now, I've already read issue #1, so if you haven't read that or gone over that, and you want to go watch the video, just go back through my playlist and you'll see it. And we'll go ahead and remove this one from the bag. There we go. All right. Rebel Moon, House of the Bloodaxe, issue 2. Go through the credits. Once again, if you haven't seen the movies, they're on Netflix, and this is the prequel to all those for some of the characters. And stories by Zack Snyder, written by Magdalene Visaggio, art by Clark Bent, colors by Francesco Segala, flats by Sabrina Del Grosso, and letters by And World Designs Jaime, or Jaime. I'm not too sure on that one. Then the other credits are over here. You can check those out if you haven't already. Pause it and go through and look at them. This is by Titan Comics. All right, so let's jump in, and it says 50 years ago. So if you remember from the last issue, this does a little bit with going to the past and then going to the present. So it looks like it's going to continue that. So 50 years ago, it says, my mother died when I was just a boy, but I can see her face like it's right in front of me. It's going to be all right, Fidelio. Fidelio. I already have a name. Why do I need a new one? I know it feels a little ridiculous, but it's important. You've reached 30 seasons. That makes you a full member of the clan. You're part of them, and they're part of you. The naming symbolizes that. I don't want them to be part of me. So this must be the leader when he's little. Oh, my darling, I'm so sorry, but they already are. These are your people. This is your family. I guess. That's enough moping. Come on. The Nadul, the Wayseeker, awaits. Okay, this looks like a shaman, maybe, or something like that. You enter the space between where Shasu lives. What is Fidelio? Almost like your father when he first came here. The planet called him Kosiba, Planet Shield. Our names don't make our destinies make our names. Here in the space between, boy, Shasu sees the whole shape of you. From whisper, taper end of your beginning to mother. So he grabbed his hands and put a whole bunch of stuff on it, I guess. Or he's grabbing stuff and then, yeah. You are one and not one. Two serpents twined together, two serpents separated. You are the union, or you are the division. Which one will be up to you? It looks like he just smacked some stuff on his face. Oh, okay, yeah, he grabbed his head and pushed it on there. It looks like it's worms, some earth, and stuff like that. So they hit the gong, and it rings out, and it says, Shasu speaks, and we bend ear to hear. Shasu names, and we are named. For 10,000 years we have been named. This son of our Lord Kosiba, by Shasu named and adopted, now receives his name. So she walks out with him. He looks all sad. Shasu names you Yisrael, two-hearted, son of the Damaka Shai, and in him wind paths both crossed and uncrossing. You're focusing too much on power. That's because I have it, sister, and you don't. Do you think Abba is going to listen to that mother worlder? So it looks like this jumps ahead in time now. This was in the past, so this is the present. This is a brother and sister fighting. We were introduced to them last time. It's going to say their names, I'm sure. So I'll just go ahead and let it show it. So once again, that's because I have it, sister, and you don't. Do you think Abba is going to listen to that mother worlder? Yeah. Hard to say, and not for us to worry about. Father will do whatever he thinks wise. We're talking about a massacre, Dev. How do you think grandfather ended up ruling Shasu Darrian? By handing out candy? We serve, not the other way around. And maybe that needs to stop. So he kicks her. She Falls to the ground. The Black Mountain militants were the first human beings on Shasu 10,000 years ago. But one officer shows up, and now we're just going to eradicate them? I'm not the only one. I've been talking to people, and there's real movement. Ayah! Huh. So he falls down, she sweeps him, and then she jumps up with her stick, knocks him back down. Don't. There is no way to stop what's coming. Mother World will strike the Black Mountain militants with or without us. They have a dreadnought in orbit right now. That's all they need. And it is Father's to decide how we're going to respond, not yours. You always were a suck up. Always Abba's favorite. Darrian. But not this time. So he's Darrian, of course. As you wish, brother. Devra. So she flips him over, knocks him down. And it's, you're young and angry and eager. Those are virtues. But this needs to stop. So they pick him up. Kalika's ship could just as easily target us. And you're just inflaming a situation that's already primed to erupt. Trust Father to walk a delicate line. I have to do something. Then do this. There's no greater strength than knowing when to be still. So Devra is probably the older, and Darrian is the younger brother. She's trying to give him some advice. So here's up in space. This is the dreadnought she was talking about. Dreadnought Audacity. So in the last issue, just in case you haven't, been here, I'll catch you up. They are on the planet Shasu, and the ruler is their father, and Yisrael, I think is what his name is. And then Darrian and Devra are the two son and daughter, his kids, and their mother just died in the last one. And there was a massive blackout on communication. They didn't know what was going on. And then the mother world all of a sudden showed up and they turned communication back on. And they said their leaders have been killed. The princess and the king and the queen have all been assassinated. And now they're holding people on this planet, Shasu, responsible. And it's these militants that live out in the wilderness. But that is where their mother came from. That's their people. And that's also where their grandmother came from, where the father married one of these women that was from this tribe too. So that's this tribe that we're going through. These people, they're saying these militants on the outskirts are the ones that have attacked the royal family. So now they want them to attack them. And if they don't, she's saying that they're going to do it without them. So they're going to let the father make the decision and walk that line, is what Devra is telling Darrian. So back to where we're at, the Dreadnought Audacity. I still maintain, Colonel, that wisest course is to simply melt the entire planet's surface into glass. And then what? Chiron, you smash it with a hammer. You smash it with a hammer? Something like that. Give the rest of the galaxy a good kick in the A. Inspire loyalty, not terror. It's better to be feared than loved. Fear brings obedience and speed. Bloodaxe dallies because he has none. Bloodaxe is the dad. That's their last name, their family. He dallies because he doesn't know what to do. The galaxy is upside down. The king is dead. What Belisarius is trying to accomplish, Colonel, is catharsis, I suppose. To give the people resolution, not rupture. And if Bloodaxe defies, Chiron. That's what the Jimmies are for. What they've always been for. The Senesco, consider him our mechanical man inside. I do not have to ask what you would do, Kosiba. I already know that quite well. So he's speaking to his wife who's passed away. Father, we must speak. Then speak, my daughter. There are rumblings, my lord Shasu, within this very fortress of consequences should you follow the course Colonel Helika enjoined. Plainly, Devra. The king is dead. The entire royal family is murdered. And now your forces might have to go massacre their countrymen for the crime. Nobody knows what to do, and it's a matter of time before someone steps up to tell them. You must act, or else lose freedom, or else lose forever the freedom to. Father. Freedom to. Kosiba wasn't supposed to conquer Shasu, you know that. The idea was he'd leech off of it, an absentee landlord, collecting rents and taxes. Father, he had wider vision than that. He came here and became Shasu. He made me out of this planet. He was a third son of a third son. He had no inheritance to speak of, but he left me a whole world, and I can feel it slipping out of my hands. So he's talking about his father and what his father had done. Father, with all respect, it doesn't have to. Tread with care, daughter. If the choice is between rebellion and the slaughter of our own people for a crime that nobody has even attempted to prove, I can think of no better time to fight than now. The king is dead. The kingdom is teetering. Shasu is famously difficult to pacify. The regent just wants us to do it for him. Helika's warship is an obstacle, but we can get the old planetary shield back up in a matter of hours if we need to, or bring an explosive to a diplomatic meeting and out, away, insolent whelp. Father, I was only offering my counsel. Counsel! A child's counsels, begone. I will not bring ruin upon your mother's people. I will not destroy everything my father built, and I will not be challenged by my own children. Abba. Okay, so they're kind of falling apart a little bit on that one. So it's going back to the past now, 33 years ago. Behold, in my second year of school, Charanic radicals from Shasu destroyed a ship in orbit over Motherworld. The explosion was visible to over 11 billion people. I could see it from my room at Lozar University. So I think this is when he was in kind of like college on Motherworld. I was Shasu, and therefore suspect in my loyalties. My expulsion was a matter of hours, and Kosiba called me home. So his father called him home after the attack. We would not be suspect for long, even if it killed us. This was Kosiba's will. I was a student. Hama help me, a boy, suddenly armed and pointed at the enemy by my own father without understanding why. The crown never asked that of him. No retribution was ever demanded, but Kosiba was a wise man. We would be beyond reproach, and he would make sure I understood. So all these dudes were executed right there. And it looks like it's by this crazy person. Yisrael, do you see now what I am, what the Lord Shasu must be? This is the price of peace. This this isn't peace, Father. I don't you don't know what peace is. So that's his father. He's dressed up in his warrior garb and he just killed all those radicals. Um to send a message, I guess, that they got punished. This is the closest you will ever come. That's pretty cool. Let me go look back and look at that. That's a good drawing. Okay, so this is outside. Looks like doot doot doot. Downloading. Transfer complete. Somebody's stealing something or getting some information. They put it in their coat and they're sneaking away in darkness so nobody sees. There they are. They set something up. And then somebody shoots their gun. Blam blam. Hey there, Hanar. Drop your weapons and disarm that detonator. That's a good Baru. I'm just passing through. I'm on my way to Nedru to shed the kata armor also. This being a robbery and all. Hee hee. Alright, I know when I'm outgunned. I give you my armor and then I'm on my way. I didn't bind you an oath, but that's the general path. So he's taking off his stuff, looks like. Has his weapon under there. And then poof, that guy falls down, looks like he's dead. And then they start shooting, blam, 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 blam. And then he's blasting back. They're falling down, it looks like, and they're on the run, trying to chase him while he's shooting. There he is. And then he's looking at him with his eyes and says, that was my brother Drew killed. I will skin you alive for that. Suck on your bones. Drink your marrow. Sorry about that, but judging by your accents, you're a long way from home. This isn't the Pale, you stupid Pavel. You can't go away with this banditry this close to the Bloodaxe stronghold. I look, everything is different. Now, no more rules. Haven't you heard? The king is dead. Dang, and somebody just blew his head off. That's crazy. Must have words with my brother. Leave us. Either depart on your own demolition or dearly depart of mine. Dang. So that's Devra. Saved him. Killed that guy real hard. I think we can overpower one girl. And then she just blasts that guy too. Under normal circumstances, I'd be angry you followed me. But I gotta say, thank you. So she looks at him all mad. And it looks like somebody's singing. Once so splendid, all the story wearing knights attended the Queen of Peace, in diadem seated yet in heaven, with beauty far beyond our knowing, life giving as the mortal sun. We waited on a goddess then, and now our waiting's done. We waited on a goddess then, and now our waiting's done. I think that is the robot going by singing the Jimmy. So small she seems and fragile too, as if a mortal girl. Though we one day may beggars be, it's enough she's in the world. So the last one, the Jimmy, which is the robot, they call him the Jimmy. I can't remember what his real kind of name is. But he found out the queen and the king were assassinated, and the princess, and they kind of adored the princess, and it was almost like they that was their only existence was for them, and now they're gone. So he's kind of without a purpose. And then it looks like the dad is still looking at the shrine for the mother, or maybe it's a shrine for the father. And he says, "Behold, my father's will." So I think he knows what he has to do. He has to put on his father's armor and go take down these bandits that they say actually killed the king and queen. But we know from watching the movie, if you haven't watched the movie, you don't really know. But if you know from watching the movie that that is not the true story, they're just being framed. So he's about to go and try to kill everybody, I guess. Kind of like his dad did right there. So that's going to be interesting to see and see how it's all going to play out. But that's the end. It's just to be continued. Now, if you go to the back of the book, you got your special covers like we did last time. This is the cover I have here, cover A by Daniel Warren Johnson. But you got cover B, C, D, and FOC cover. So if you like collecting those, they're out there also. And then now you got this, the language on Shasu. I didn't read the last one. The last one was like a history of Shasu. I may do a separate video where I'm going to go through those also. But here's next time. Well, for issue number 3, it says next issue with Darrian's betrayal and the Imperium tightening their grip on Shasu. Yisrael feels the pressure of imminent war. So he's got a weapon in hand right there. And then there's his son and there's his daughter. And Darrian betrayed them, so we'll see how that's going to pan out. And yeah, we'll see how it's all going to work out. We got 2 more issues, and we'll finish this. If you haven't watched the movie, go check the movie out. There's a novelization right there. But all right, thanks guys. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you again next time on Rick Reads Comics.